Chill. Okay, this thing is really on. They say I only rap about getting dollars. Well, I don't see the problem. Pardon me, I thought niggas wanted out of poverty. Is it just me? If so, let me not stand in the way of your broke ass destiny. It's to check for me, cause if I ain't there to get paid, you ain't got to check for me. Can't live broke, can't die broke, cause if I die broke, I can't rest in peace. If money ain't your necessity, send your motherfucking check to me. Hit my line, you can reach me at 1-900, nigga please. I'm disgusted online when I find my business in your debates. Boy, you believe anything, you think Google could tell you what I make. I ain't had to buy school supplies cause I never did stop getting paper. How you focus on how I eat when you ain't even welcome at my dinner table? Say less. How you focus on how I eat when you ain't even welcome at my dinner table? Say less. More money, less stress. That's our lesson for today, class dismissed. I ain't interested in half this shit. You can't name a single ass I kissed. Tony Montana showed me that the world was mine, then I hop my ass in a blimp. Mama made me drop a bag on the rent. Either that or we gon' have to pitch a tent. We know money talk, let's talk money. You ain't talking dollars, you ain't making sense. Tell me if you know how this shit feel. From home, all your shit on the curb. If you know the feeling, then you know that free shit is for the birds. Niggas say less. Fuck it up a little bit. If you know the feeling, then you know that free shit is for the birds. Niggas say less. Money talk less, please talk more bucks. If money ain't in the conversation, then please shut the fuck up. Please, the prettiest, please, I'm begging you, please get off my nuts. Cause the bank's about to close and I'm in a rush. Say less. Long live Pilf. Say less. Oh. I didn't know what that was.
And we're live. You know, I ain't particularly planned to come on here, so I'm gonna do this real quick. I happened to, in my boredom earlier, I'm with I ended up going out with a friend, and I'm staying in out of town for the evening. That's besides the point. Just letting people know I've reconnected with some people, maybe been useful. I'm gonna definitely keep spending more time off here. And you know, one of the reasons why I ought to, and I really now actually want to do it and think I should do it, is because I'm not respected. You know, it was the same, it was one of the core issues with Gene Team. That none of Gene and then fail to mention anybody when they want to talk shit. Like this new guy. Where do I even begin? This fucking new, damn near, like, old as shit. Like, I showed nothing but respect to this person in their chat, their panel. Even when other people came in and tried to make a fight and change subjects and bring other shit into the chat, I held steadfast, and I only responded if the host said something about it. And a few times, you know, he'd say, well, they're really giving it to you in chat. I mean, as long as you don't have no issues, like, I was like, look, I don't care what they say in the chat. I was like, it's a complicated issue. I said they're going to have their side, and they're going to stick to it, even though that's not, you know, the correct side. I'm not saying they're lying 100%, but, you know, you're not, you know, I explained it to him. You know, it's just, it's dumb to bring it over here, though, is what I said. I said, because that was one of the one of the first primary things people pointed out that I used to do, it was a fucking locale feature, was going into other people's chats like I would in the early days. Because number one, I didn't have a way to talk to them in the backstreet way. And number two, it was because I was having issues with other channels like Cammy and different ones. And I'd go, somewhere and start trying to talk to somebody about it, maybe one or two people. And somebody would get pissed, a mod or something, and would say something like, basically what I just said, don't bring that over here. I have many different examples of shit like that. Well, apparently, rule for thee, right? It's a rule if I or some other people do it, but if they do it, then, it doesn't make them a locale. Everything I can't stand about this person now, and I don't hate him or nothing, but I mean, they don't really act like that much of a man. Here's why I don't. To her and burden them. Sorry. Now, sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck's happening. Now, this first person, like I said, they, well, I lost my place. So this next person, they let me know at first. They was like, well, I think I need to have a segment about it, man, with all the chat and everything. And with what they're talking about, I was like, look, man, I was like, I don't know what all they said because I haven't blocked, to be honest with you. But I can tell you this. Most of it is not 100. And I'm not saying, and they're not doing it to like, it's not to fool you or nothing like that. I'm sure they, if anything, they just, would end up saying, well, it's part of their troll or whatever. But in the end of it, whatever the fuck they're saying, most likely isn't true. I don't know if that person seems to know or not, but within addition to little me's child, you got Fusion's family photo with his son that she sent me, knowing me and Fusion had an issue that he had fucked me over and what they had done causing me to go to literally the fucking hospital and be swatted. Like, she put that in my lap basically, and you understood what she wanted and figured what happened with it. You can't be, ignorant to that. And she's gonna be acting like, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is the fact that if I'm a fucking locale, then definitely so are you. That's the big deal. Difference is, though, I don't have my nudes out there. There's no actual videos of me doing any crazy crap like you've done on video. Never will be. Not unless somebody AIs and fakes some bullshit up. So, not only that, let's just see. Oh, I don't know. I have sat here and tried to be peaceful and not talk about this person. Now, first couple times I was over at AD's, I had enough time to get a membership, chat over there, and I had no issues. It wasn't until, strangely enough, old Wacky came around, and then all of a sudden Bird and all their crew were popping regulars, since. It seems like every time I tried just to go somewhere to hang out, not like, and Wacky made it seem like, oh, well, this is what he does. No, it's not what I do. Like, number one, this dude already knows about stuff. Number two, I told him straight up, like, I'm just here to watch about the subject matter. That's it. And support it. Like, I'm not trying to get him to talk about anything related to me or nothing like that. Well, they decided to try to. And so I asked him, I said, man, I said, I'm not trying to play on you or anything, straight up. I said, but, I do got a lot going on right now. And I said, and I think I've got really a lot and enough coverage and stuff going on already content wise. I said, they're already doing it all the time anyways. I said, so I'd appreciate it if you not do one, because, I said, I don't know what you're going to hear other than the same old negative stuff. You're going to hear a whole bunch of negative shit about me. Basically, it's going to be just passed around, and that's it. They try to say, oh, well, he's never done anything. Yeah, excuse me for, not trying to let my anger get to the point that I do something that they can turn and use it against me to try to put me into jail or something. Like, I'm not gonna be dumb. And I find it funny, you got these people that think that they know just from like one little series of videos that started off because people manipulated and were able to buddy troll me and send person after person, because I had to try to believe, and did believe at first, that not everyone, but most I'd come across would be good, and a lot of them would act that way at first, but they end up wouldn't be. I mean, you have so many people that have left that little pathetic group, um, and now they just keep attacking more and more people who are loyal to them, basically accusing and conspiring them of doing this, that, and the third. And it's just insane. I mean, I don't know. I just can't deal with it just too much almost longer anymore. I have listened a little sparingly, and I will make a response. And that is to fucking Mr. Michael Gandy, somebody who I've told countless times and wants to act, puffed up and show his ego. My. Number one, I called your number, yeah, and I left that voicemail as a test to see what you would do and how you'd respond. I then told you in a text, did I not, after it was a while and you didn't do anything? I figured, well, I guess he's just, So I went ahead and I texted you that, I didn't mean to. And he's going to come back like, oh, well, that stupid son of a bitch. And what are you doing calling or texting? Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. Damn, you sound like Deadly almost. Like you trying to control women. I don't see how guys can get like, it'd be one was talking like, talking or flirting or anything. But we didn't talk hardly ever at all. Very rarely. Everybody tried to make it into something it wasn't. Deadly tried to come up with that bullshit about threat. You know, he only did that because he felt bad because he was exposed as threatening to put a gun in his mouth and took a picture of himself. I ain't never done anything like that. And I certainly didn't threaten suicide over not talking to somebody who, number one, I didn't ever date, didn't want to date, I don't see any future there. I'm sorry. Like, if I was going to date somebody that, long distance, the farthest long distance I would go would be, it had to be one of these states connected to mine. That's it. I mean, and even then, I wouldn't like the idea of it. People have decided that nothing matters anymore, it seems, about the rules or how things get defined. Andy thinks that it was worth doing the pathetic bullshit he did because it fucked with my mind. It did no such thing. Do you realize how bad and boring your little scuff, so-called with JM, was? The way you insulted one another was cringe. I almost should have just said, like, stop it. Just please stop. But no, we went ahead and we watched you carry on and talk about how something was going to get. Oh, don't say it. Well, what do you mean, don't say it? I mean, hell, if you're saying that at all around them and in front of them, then they're going to already know what I'm talking about. So what's the fucking point of me not saying it? There's so many things I could bring up that stood out to me along the way. And you want to think, you don't ever take for a consideration that somebody just might be curious what you happen to say, do, or try to get them up to. And you didn't really do a whole lot. You tried to get me to let you help me with videos and stuff. Well, yeah, like, I'm gonna do that. I tell you what, I have been very cool to even people that are my enemy. I have not come across nor done or sent you any harm whatsoever. By harm, I mean reporting yourself. I don't have anything up of anybody bad. I don't have any emojis up of anybody's faces. I can put up emojis of my face here if I want, because it's my fucking face. But I couldn't do it with fusions. Then I could, and then I could, be reported. So, and that includes synthetic if it can be identified and seem to look like me by a certain percentage of people, which I guarantee you it can and does automatically. I mean, your fucking whole membership base knows it's me. It doesn't matter. I'm talking to a wall practically. Problem is, people don't value their word. A man is not a man without his word. And I had a man give me his word, and then he did not keep it. Not only did he not just keep his word, I mean, now that would be one thing, but then he decided to read messages that, number one, were intended for one recipient. So, I mean, that's like some fucking teenage fucking girl shit right there. Who the fuck put some messages out, especially when they wasn't messages of any like controversy or, you know, threats or nothing like that. It wasn't shit talking. It wasn't, you know, anything of the sort that should be serious enough to the point you would just disregard. I mean, hell, that alone right there just showed your intentions completely, like, you know. But I think that that channel has plenty of drama, and I support them, and I don't care, like, I'm not going to go to Google, even though I could, like I did with the shit that happened with the bees. I could go there and get shit, probably most, maybe not everything, but most refunded, but I'm not going to do that, you know. They keep it. I hope they make it to good use, you know. I didn't do that for a favor. I did that to do it. I never asked the person for a favor either. The only thing that I did came close to asking of anything was to not, focus in and giving in to doing a live about me when, like, you haven't heard of any scam I'm doing or anything. I'm not doing anything actively that gets most people covered. Like, most people get covered because they've been beating on somebody, abusing. Maybe they're on scamming or doing some shit. But, what am I doing? Oh, living life, trying to get in, at least I applied for this program that's supposed to help me with getting some job placement. And if not in my field, and something different, perhaps. But I've been working, and not only have we had Veterans Day to celebrate, which, I've had a lot of people, some that are deceased, some that are alive still, that served. And, I get to thinking about our country. Our country is supposed to be a beacon of light and justice around the world. Supposed to be a safe haven for freedom. No matter where you come from or what you may have done before, that you can come here, and if you apply yourself and you do the right thing, you can have the basic American dream, which is 4 walls, a roof, a family, a job, hopefully one that you like or grow to like, or at the very least, good vacation time. And that's it. Doesn't have to be an extravagantly rich life, although it can be. Some people are able to apply themselves so much to the point that they generate generational family wealth, not only for themselves, but for their future and their future's generation. And that becomes a practice that passes down the lineage, which is where you get clans and families like the Rockefellers and whatnot. Here's the thing. I've tried. I've tried so hard to sit here and to, I'm not vengeful, I'm not hateful or any of that. I'm just rightfully, I feel maybe angry by the fact that this stuff would transpire when, I mean, I have been as non-combative, non-aggressive as they come to just about anybody. I've talked about Deadly, and he'll be getting his YouTube related stuff soon, but that's another thing. That's about all I've had an issue with. But I still have this group clinging on that used to use me from before as their distraction and as sort of a weapon in and of itself. And, you know, all I tried to do was leave them peacefully after they tried to get me to choose. And, you know, I feared that it wouldn't be done. I just didn't know it would take as long as it did. And then people want to actually come up to me and try to talk about this other nonsense as if it actually has any merit. If you believe that, maybe you ought to, I don't know. You might want to go transplant and donate your brain. It would have better use than somebody else, possibly. Because you're not using it if you believe that. It's an interesting thing. I believe I found a pattern in it. The pattern is simply this. The reason why they used PD and said that he had came across and discovered is because I was the one that came across while Googling a Reddit post, and it was made by PD, his username and all, and he had commented a couple years prior on a video that now, whether or not it was a real brother or sister, I don't know, may have been actors doing some weird fetish shit, but his brother and sister taboo named PORN, and he commented, "Why do all the best videos never have sound?" And as soon as I exposed that, quickly it was taken down. So that's why he's coming up with this right now. It's a form of revenge. That's alright. I know I ain't got nothing to hide. But these other people, they can't say the same. You know? For someone that's a low-cow, it seems I voted pretty much the same as a lot of other people did. Especially a similar person that lives in the same state as me. Somehow they think there's still a distinction there between. We're all human beings, and the karma you make on here is going to be more impactful than it ever has been before, and I don't think people have realized that. When it starts to come back around, and it will, I think it's going to come back in a way no one's going to expect. Maybe not, we'll see. But pulling all this shit off and making up this fake shit, you know, I don't know where he gets off thinking how he does, but I imagine it's a lot to do with arrogance from the fact of how the first year and a half went. They got a lot of wins, and I was really naive and green at the beginning, of course. So they got a lot, accomplished then. But now as it's moved on, Brownie, come here, buddy. Good boy. Now that it's moved on some and gotten dulled out, they've got to try to come up with different things if they can. Which I don't think will be as easy since I won't be on here. So let's clarify the fact that regardless, whatever you choose to believe is on you. But I didn't have any bad intent and was just trying to hang out. But I mean, if I may respond if people want me to so bad, but it won't be in the way they're expecting, and it won't be on their time or soon. It'll be maybe after a while. But for now, I'm just going to chalk it up and say that, it is a sad attempt, I would believe. And it's also very disrespectful. And to have a man not keep his word, too, is just like, that's a whole nother sign. Like, that would be called a low-cow sign by most people. Yet, so I don't get it. I've not kept my word in the past. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, but I've learned to keep it if I'm going to give it. So if I don't think I can keep it, then I'm not going to give it. But anyways, and the other thing you need to remember is I don't give a shit what they're saying about everyone else. Look, Mr. Wade wasn't always nice to me, but he's passed, and people should respect his family and stuff during this time, and not be going around the counts like that, and wish his family peace and pray for them if you want to. If you don't want to do anything, that's fine, but don't do that bullshit. That's just too low. And if we can, why don't we respect the dead from now on, all the time, not just when we're in mourning, but especially then too. That's all I got to say, everyone. Good night, peace, bonjour, goodbye.